There we go.
Oh, what up, man?
What's going on, dude? How's
What?
things?
Things look good. How are things with you?
All good, man.
Oh,
Just
looks fun.
watching a couple buddies play
Okay.
right now. Just watching nice cheese against a protest that I have not been able to beat. I just have crazy problems with the meta of the adept bullshit,
Yeah.
floating back and forth.
Yeah. You're masters, right?
Yeah, first tier masters.
Okay. Um, so do you want to focus on ZvP then? Like adepts specifically?
Yeah, I mean, ever since Zombie Toss, we had that build
Yeah.
to destroy Zombie Toss. I was destroying them, and then ever since then, it's been a very rocky road because I don't know, like if I win, it's only because I was able to get to Hydras without taking too much economy damage from some bullshit all in or something. Like I keep getting all in, or they do too much damage with the adepts, forcing too many roaches, and I don't do really any damage.
Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, adepts are definitely a pretty unforgiving unit to go against. Like, if they kill your drones, you're basically fucked. And it's really easy for Protoss to transition out of them because they apply so much pressure just indirectly by the ability to like phase walk around your base. But all you got to do to one of the main things you got to do is you do have to go roaches to beat that. The only time you really don't need roaches, I guess, is if it's like a 3 base Protoss who wants to like harass you without attack speed on their adepts. And then they make like 6 of them or 7 of them, and that's it. And then they go into like stalkers or something. But that's kind of rare nowadays. I would say most Protosses actually go for like the 2 base, like 7 gate kind of shit, and they might even have a warp prism with it, and then they'll like do always like a follow up immortal at a few century timing with more adepts.
Yeah.
That happens a lot. Yeah,
Like, so where I end up in the game is I'm droning like a motherfucker.
yeah,
Sorry.
it's okay.
And then I'm droning, and then I've tried doing just Lings to defend, and I was thinking Banes for, but they just don't work well. They're too cost inefficient. You lose too many drones with them phasing and clumping, like 6 or 7 adepts usually,
Yeah,
or make a clump of 10. It doesn't work. So I've been cutting economy and holding back on taking my third early so I could get enough gas to get speed roaches out really quickly, and then holding it when they come. But again, even when I do that, they still get a lot of damage done to me, or they force me to stop mining because I have to move my drones off before they get killed. And again, that just screws me over in the game. I think adepts are a bullshit unit right now, but
yeah.
that's
It's all good. The big thing is about the big thing about beating adepts and beating Protoss who do use adepts is it's all about getting as many drones as you can, and then like salvaging like just retaining them basically. Don't actually not letting them die. And
well.
go ahead.
I've been trying to get burrowing my drones instead.
I honestly think it's bad. I don't think you should do that because it's
Yeah,
like all you're gonna do if you burrow your drones is you're gonna lose mining time.
that's exactly the problem. And
Yeah,
the adepts are two-shotting a drone, so like
yeah. Like,
there's
cause
no you can't even save any of the drones. If they're like in range, they're dead.
yeah, no, like a lot of times what'll happen is you'll burrow your drones, and then you might actually be like, oh wow, I saved a whole mineral line because I burrowed. But then like if he does it to you over and over, where you're just like burrowing and burrowing, you're like actually losing so much mining time by doing that. His follow up push after the adept push is going to guaranteed kill you. Like you might actually survive the adept phase, but then you're gonna die guaranteed to the immortal timing.
That's exactly what it is. So
Yeah,
this is what happens: is I take too much damage in the adept phase, and then I die to bullshit afterwards.
yeah.
It will be immortal, a
So
bunch of adapts and whatnot. So I've tried to transition into mutas, but then that they generally will have like uh how are those units?
Shocker Century.
Templar. No, not High
Oh,
Templar. The thing
Archon.
Dark Templars, the Archons. There we go.
Yeah.
They have Archons, and then
So all you gotta do. This is the simplest way to look at it. We need to. There's like a couple builds we can try, but we need to figure out a build that you're comfortable with. But we need to make it to where um, you're getting roach speed really early, and you're getting enough roaches to deal with the adepts. and you're like cutting that thin line really hard of like you're droning as hard as you can and then making roaches when you actually need them. And then as soon as you know you're going to be able to defend yourself with the roaches you currently have, going back into drones immediately after that, because you don't plan on actually doing a follow-up counter-attack to the Protoss. Because generally speaking, if he's playing really, really standard, if you were to attack his base right after the Adept phase, he's just going to have like a bunch of sentries to cut your units up, Immortals, and Photon Overcharge, and you're not going to get anything done. And you're going to
Exactly,
you're
and
gonna be
they're
in a bad
usually
spot.
taking a third by that point. Can't do anything. The overcharge
Yeah, yeah.
just fucks you. So I got a couple replays
Okay.
of laddering the other night where I was just getting crushed. And maybe we can take a look at like maybe one of the two of those really quickly,
Yeah.
like spend, maybe 10, 15 minutes looking at them, seeing what I'm doing wrong, and more importantly, how to do it better there. And then, I don't know, I haven't even watched the replays myself of those, but I think it's a good starting point at least to see what I'm doing wrong and then see how to make it better.
Yeah, sounds good. Are you online right now?
I am. I'm looking for you. Let me go into the Vibe chat.
Yeah.
Vibe. I'm in VFam channel, but I don't see you.
Oh.
Oh, there you are. Yeah.
Okay. There you go. Nice. Well, that sounded weird. That was a weird new sound they have for accepting an invite. Bing. I don't even know. All right, just host it up and we'll talk about it. But yeah, the big thing is just about economy, man. Like if you don't have enough economy to transition out of roaches, you're gonna die against Protoss. That's just all it really comes down to. All right, let's do this.
So, I think I'm actually older than you. I've been playing
how old are you?
Brood War since I'm 34.
Yeah, you're older than me.
I've been playing Brood War since I didn't play it at first when it came out, but then I got hooked on it. I don't know, somewhere around 2000 something. All I ever played was BGH.
Yeah, that's what I played, man.
That
Yeah.
shit was the funnest.
Yeah, dude, BGH was the shit. I played probably like 3,000 games of BGH way back in the day, like over the years that I played it.
I think the biggest thing that they're doing that's kind of shitty with Blizzard was what they need to fix is they need to fix the multiplayer in StarCraft 2. I feel like it's
I agree.
ass.
I don't
It's
like it either.
not balanced at all, and it's like if you don't rush, you don't win.
That's how I feel
Like-
too. It's really repetitive. And
Yeah.
it's like always like no macro, just all ins.
Yeah, exactly. And well, even if you macro, it's not. I feel like it's not balanced because Protoss Air is straight destruction.
Yeah,
Like
no,
if they get
it
to
gets
carriers and mothership and all that shit, you're just dead.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of stuff I don't like about the team aspect of StarCraft 2 as well. It's just I don't know. They could be done a lot better, I think.
I hope when they announced they're gonna release StarCraft Legacy or something or HD
HD
version or
remake.
something.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet. But all I want them to fix in that is just at least put modernize the control so you rally the drones to the mineral patch and then put a freaking real a Blizzard released BGH which is off the original.
Yeah, yeah. That would be
That
cool.
I feel
would
like that's the
that.
biggest problem with the custom map games in the current ladder pool. They should release a real BGH.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
Anyways, I am okay. So
I've been watching it so far. I don't think Evo Chamber builds are actually good against Protoss. And with the current meta that it is, where it's
Yeah.
just adept heavy, where the whole thing we were talking about. I think
Yeah.
if you want to have minimal gas investment, as minimal as possible early game.
So normally I do. I only invest in speed if I need it, or I would be investing in to have enough for roaches when I need it. But in this game, I'm trying something different because I've been getting crushed. And I just picked one of the replays out of the strings that I lost. And what I'm trying to do here, I'm going to do a speedling drop in his main when he shades over to me. Try to counterbalance.
Yeah.
I think it gets completely shut down and crushed anyways, because
It-
all he has to do is warp in a couple.
Not only that, but all he has to do is overcharge. And even if he didn't have any units there, the mothership core alone could buy enough time with overcharge to have another warp in.
Yeah.
So I feel like trying to do counter pressure against Protoss at all in the beginning of the game, if you're going to be dealing with adept players, is aggression in any form is kind of like a waste of your time. The only time I would ever say aggression might be worth it would be if you were against adepts. Would be if you were like planning on proxying him right off the bat with like that, I guess, Spike Crawler all in or something like that. Something to break him down before he even gets to Twilight Council in the first place.
So I saw that. I saw him warping his warp gates. I saw the Twilight Council. I see everything I need to see, right? I was scouting with that Ling there. And that's the reason I put that Ling out there to scout for any proxy bullshit that Toss love to do, you know, with DT and shit. And here you can see I'm going across the map to try and do a drop. And I mean, I've only been on one gas this whole time, and I'm full saturated on 2 bases with a couple queens, right? So I'm...
The only thing about that, though, is the amount of time it took you to get saturated was a lot longer than it could have been. Because you had a gas really early, and you were mining off the gas
that's
for a while.
4... Yeah, I know, that's 4 drones. So how do you... My question is then, when do you get the gas to defend the adept pressure? Because I feel like if I don't get that early gas, I can't get to a layer quick enough. I can't get to roach speed. Without...
There's 2 ways to really do it. One way that I do it is I'll go for... I'll tell you in a second. I'm just going to talk about this really quick.
Yeah, so my drop just went horribly wrong because I selected all my units there and it didn't drop to the main.
Yeah. So, if you did hit the main, you would have definitely done some damage because his mothership core was out of position. But even then, that's kind of like risky because you're hoping that that's how the Protoss is going to be. You're hoping he's not going to know what's going on, which is not always going to be the case. But basically, the point is if you are in a position where you have a Zergling-centric army versus this adept timing, you're probably already in a bad spot, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
The only time
no Banes or anything would ever make this any better.
I don't think Banelings are great.
Bane Rain or anything like that.
You could do that, but you become very all in if you do that. Like you put yourself in a position where you have to do damage to the probe line or you're fucked. Because you can see right now you're already behind by 6 workers, which is not good for you. Because even though you understand, like it's shitty. You want to be ahead because you want to be you need to be ahead to be able to transition. So. In this position, you definitely you need to have roaches already, and you need to have like quite a few of them. Go ahead.
This game was the experiment because, like I said, I got crushed, and I'm just trying something different because I don't know how to handle it because it's just getting crushed all like nonstop.
Yeah, no, it's a good experiment. I've tried Evo Chamber builds as well against adepts, and I think it's just really bad overall. It never really pays off more than what it's worth. I always feel like it puts you behind.
See right here, I'm not mining, you know, and it's like, you know, my income's down to like nothing again, and I cleared it up, but barely, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, a lot of times, what I'll do is, if I'm playing really greedy against Protoss, and let's say I go 3 hatchery before pool. You don't have to do this, but this is just one thing I do. I won't actually take gas at all until 3 minutes into the game. And at 3 minutes, I will take double gas instead of just a single one. And I won't even get Zergling speed first. I will get layer before Zergling speed. And then the second I start a layer, I will start a Roach Warren. And this way, if my opponent were to if I scout, he's going to do the adept bullshit and he's going to attack me pretty hard. I immediately can start Roach speed really, really fast. And I can just constantly pump out Roach after Roach after Roach.
But when do you start the rest of your gases at that point? Like
I would take I would take 2 gases at at 3 minutes, and then I wouldn't take my 3rd gas until I was fully saturated on 2 mineral lines and like half saturated on the 3rd.
So you take at 3 minutes, after droning, you take both gases, and you saturate both gases. You get your layer, and then you go for roach.
Yep, and then I would get Zergling speed after I go layer.
Yeah. See, right now he has blinked. I'm fucked. Right.
Yeah.
I think.
You're not actually totally fucked yet, but you're definitely behind.
You know what? Actually, I think I win this game. I think I go Muta.
Yeah, you might. I mean, you're not.
And I think we base trade, and I think I win it. I actually think this is a game. Let's speed it up. I'm pretty sure I think I win this.
Alright, I'm gonna go to 10-4. I don't think Carapace is good against Protoss. The Carapace upgrade is almost completely irrelevant, especially if you're going for Zergling and he's going for Adept, because it doesn't matter how many Carapace upgrades you have, your Lings will always be 2-shot.
Yep. No, I normally don't. I don't know why I did. I usually do what you do, which is because I watch you with the attack on both range and thing.
Yeah, that's way better.
Are you
than
talking about
Evo's.
Carapace upgrade on the? No, no.
On the there was a Carapace
Yeah,
upgrade on the Evo.
Yeah. So yeah, so I got the mutas here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I win this one. We end up trading, and I clean them up pretty well here, and then I just this is I think one that I actually do
Yeah,
win.
you have a huge lead now. You could deny his third or his national or wherever. But yeah, like right there, on this game, you put yourself in a situation where you kind of needed to do damage early, but you actually got behind early because you didn't actually do the damage. It was like there was a misclick. You ran into the pylon and his front and all that shit. But then you did make him pull his probes from the main the second time, which helped out a little bit. But
exactly.
this dude definitely gave you the game when he moved out and threw his army away. He should have honestly just sat back and made more and like prepared for your
Make
switch.
cannons, exactly.
And not threw away his army. But you dealt with it, after the fact. Once you had like a 4-base economy going, you were totally fine.
Well, I've seen you do the mutaling against adept that type of army because they can't fight back essentially, and then they have to go into stalker, and the stalkers just don't have enough damage to deal with you.
Yeah, no, the Meta Ling is amazing against Stalker. That's like my favorite situation to be in. I'm always like, yeah, come on, Adrenal Gland Zerglings, just fucking tear them apart.
All right, let me just find one of the other ones here. Okay, I'm pretty sure I lose this one. Veal, this just BNS Master.
Oh.
Yeah, played him the other day.
Nice. Yeah, I'm trying to find some of my replays too while you're looking through yours for just like adepts. I feel like almost every ZvP is going to be adepts basically, but I want to find a good one.
Okay.
But yeah, just host yours whenever you're ready.
Okay, there's one. Let me do this one, and I'll just bring you in real quick, and we'll take a look at it.
Yep.
All right. Go ham.
Yep. But yeah, like I don't know, like I was saying before, there's definitely two builds I would say you could open up with against Protoss. One is like a kind of a 2-base style opening with Zergling speed early, and then you transition into a third and roaches at that point.
No, let's quit this one. I know exactly which one it says. Okay. I try to cheese and I fail, and I get because he tries to cheese me.
All right.
Like, my shit didn't work. He just counters me.
It's all good. But yeah, like if you haven't tried the 3-base build one, that's actually. I
do. I normally do. I mean, we did that. Remember when you did a review way back when I did 3-base? But the problem is, I feel like when they do 3-base and they go forge, I've stopped. Like you were saying yesterday, I kind of just go 3-base, but I do a pool first and then I do the 3rd base, and I just really don't do anything. It's just to stop any cannon aggression if they, try to do some stupidity and get a forge later. Because they see I'm going 3-base. I'm going greedy.
So you're saying, are you saying that when you go 3-base, you get cannon rushed a lot?
Yeah, well, and I know how to deal with it. I saw what you do, but it always turns into one of those weird games.
Okay.
But
like so what you're saying is when they scout your 3rd, they throw a forge down and then cannon you.
Well, no, they may already have one going or something, or they start cannoning, or they're just doing bullshit, right?
Okay, yeah. I feel. Oh, go ahead.
I've been trying a different build as well, which is I was going 14 pool, and then as soon as I put down the pool, I drone to 16, and then I make on my 17th drone, I make an expansion, and then that pool is up early enough so that if I need to make a couple lings, I can do that and kill any cannon bullshit. But and it doesn't really put me behind because I'm already saturated. I only delay my saturation for maybe an extra 5 seconds where your overlord pops and you're waiting for that extra, you're at 150 minerals. I just wait that extra 50, put down a pool, and then I just make 3 more drones right away after that, as soon as I can.
Okay. That's okay. It's not a bad way of dealing with it.
Okay, let's watch this one. Let's see if this is the. I think this guy just crushes me.
All right. Let's do
Sorry, I should have had this picked out. I
No, it's
just got
okay.
back
I
in
don't
before you got on.
It's all good, dude. The other point I wanted to just like touch on with the 3-base thing is I wouldn't be too worried about being like canon and everything. I would just like accept it because if you know how to deal with it, that's like you're good to go.
Yeah.
I feel like if someone cannons you, then you could probably just win every game anyways. If you know how
I
to
generally
maneuver
do
around
too,
it.
actually, because they waste all that money making the cannons, and then I do a couple Ravagers like you do, and then I take 3 bases right after I
Yeah.
break out. Like I break out somewhere else in the map, and I'm building there, like you always do. But
Yeah.
so here is I make 4 lane or
6.
I made 6. Oh no, but then I think I did the 14 pool, didn't I?
Yeah, this is the pool before hatchery build.
Yeah. Okay. So now I'm taking my 3rd.
I feel like this
And-
one is just off the top of my head here again. I feel like this one is definitely another build again where you need to do something or you're going to be behind because you are pressuring the front, but the second the adept pops out or the stalker, in this case it's the adept, your lings can no longer break the front anyways, and you've severely reduced your drone count by doing the pool first like this, and also making 3 larvae of lings instead of drones. I don't know. I feel like it just puts you really, really far behind. And I think the only time this build had a place, if we're gonna like talk about like Wings of Liberty in terms of like, it's not gonna be exact build order, but we're gonna talk like pool before hatchery, which would be like a 9 pool or some shit back then. It's only good against the current kind of meta where Protosses go for Nexus first before anything else. And it was also only good back in the day because there was no mothership core. Shit didn't exist.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like you just put yourself behind in the early game when you do that. You could get so much further ahead if you were just greedier.
So here I feel like I'm 4 minutes in. I'm taking 3 gases because I feel like I need to get the gases to get the Roach Warren and get the bullshit that's about to come.
Yeah.
Which is already here. So I'm already late.
Yeah.
I think.
I honestly, I don't think spines are good either against the depths, and I think the one mistake you made here, the big mistake you made, was the Roach Warren is just too late. Your Roach Warren should be going down honestly like around like 3:30.
Spines are only sort of like oh fuck. Type
Yeah,
thing.
I agree. I agree. If I was you as well, I would probably be like, fuck, I probably need them too. But I just want to make sure that like it's not something you do like on the regular.
No.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, because you understand. Like it's just a deterrent, and if he micros, you can still focus fire drones.
Yeah, I don't have link speed. I don't have anything, so that's why I'm like, okay, shit. I gotta get something.
Yeah.
I gotta stall him some way.
That was a good surround though. He kind of just like walked into death a little bit there.
Yeah.
From this point for you right now, what I would be doing is I like that you're making drones during this because I feel like if you just make units, you're guaranteed gonna lose anyways. You have to just take the risk and hope that he's not gonna all in you with the depths, which you don't actually know right now. But if you don't make drones from the point you're at right now, you're gonna lose. But you definitely do need the the biggest thing I can say is just make the Roach Warren a little bit earlier, no matter what. Always around like 3:30 is a good time to make it because it'll always be there before adept.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but it'll always be there to where you can make roaches to either deal with adept pressure or an adept all in. And it's also good against people who go for like really weird, where you think it's going to be adepts, but they actually open up DTs and maybe make Archons out of it later. You'll have roaches for that shit too, really easily. It's overall really well-rounded timer for that, and you're not really like cutting into your economy too much for it either.
So here it's stupid for me to keep making Ling. Shouldn't have been. And I just felt like it would give me, I don't know why I made Lings. I was just sort of thinking I could deny something, but there's no way I can deny this. There's just too many fucking adepts.
Yeah. The only time I think you should ever really be making Lings to try and deny like a third would be if if your opener was like hatch, pool, gas kind of an opener, and you got enough just for speed, and then as soon as your speed was maybe like 80% of the way done, you wanted to make like 16 circling, and that could be used to like be scouting around the map and then deny a greedy third if you took one. Which is actually an opener that I was going to talk about. You could actually start using if you wanted to. But with like the 3-base build where you get like a little bit of delay gas, you would never go for the Lings early. You would just like allow the Protoss to be whatever he wanted to. But you're scouting him, and if he is being extra greedy, you can be even greedier. That's like how I would deal with it with the 3-base style.
Okay. Okay, so I mean here I'm behind. You can. Oh no, yeah, I'm
You're
behind,
behind.
and I'm trying to get some hydras because I know I'm gonna need them, and trying to keep my army split well enough, but it's gonna get crushed in just about a
Yeah.
second because he's just got more.
Oh yeah, like the Immortal Archon, it makes this army like way more cost efficient. As soon as the
Yeah.
Immortal Archon get put in here, this army becomes it's extremely scary. The biggest
The, on-
thing, or go ahead, go
the
ahead.
only way we beat that is a ton of hydra before and Bane, right? That was what we do
Uh,
with the what do you call it?
Kind of. The only difference though is that Adepts work a lot differently than Zealots would, because since Zealots are
Yeah,
melee, it's much easier for Banelings to get like cost efficient connections.
sure,
But since Adepts are ranged, he can. It's like you can already do pre-splitting because you're already not only are you attacking the Banelings before they're connecting to you, but you can
sure.
easily spread out your units. And also he has sentries too, so you can force field parts of the
Yeah,
Banelings, the clumps of them,
that's
away
correct.
from you. So Banelings are really like kind of shit
So
against this composition.
what do you deal with this then? Like normally the only way I win this game where it's at in this scenario is where I would have lurkers morphing in the back, and they would just because you wouldn't have an observer generally, or I'd kill the observer and it would force him back, and then I would end up splitting his army by nidusing him all the time and making him split and go everywhere, and just nidus his base, kill his base. If he goes to base trade, I bring all my lurkers back, through the nidus, and then I back and forth like that, and that's how I'd win this game in this position. But I'm so far behind now that like I'm fucked.
Yeah,
Right?
I feel like the way you win in this position you're in right now, or the way you win a game like this, is you just have more of, like you have more of what you were making. You have more roaches, more hydras, and the way you do that is you just open up in a more efficient way. You go kind of away from the aggression, and you go more towards like the greed, and you have a safe Roach Warren timer, which allows you to be defensive, like in a safe, greedy way. So if he attacks you with Adepts, you can defend yourself with Roaches, and you can kill off all the Adepts that are there. But then you don't like overmake a bunch of Roaches, because you did overmake a shitload of Zerglings this game, which could have been drones in terms of larva.
Yep.
But you definitely need to saturate faster, I would say, and shy away from the aggression so much until you're actually at that point where you have optimal saturation for what you're going up against, and then you can flood him and overwhelm him in a fight like this, and then
How do we see how many drones are lost again? What's the key?
It's Control R, and you lost 16 workers, and you're still down 8 right now overall.
Okay. So that's this. I don't know. There's not much more to see in there. That's basically that. I've been changing it a little bit, trying to figure out how to deal with it, and I think that's a big hint right there. Is get the 2 gases at 3 minutes. When you take your 4th, and like I know it's not. I don't need a specific time. It's just an estimate of, like I'm going to be scouting, seeing what's going on, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's more or less. I kind of don't know when I should be sort of okay. Is it when you've got 60? Is 3 minutes around the time when you're double saturated? Like
Not
16,
fully,
16 on both
not fully.
bases?
It'll because what I'm doing when I'm around 3 minutes, I'll have my third will be almost done. My natural will be, or my third will probably be done by that point. My natural will be probably about 10 drones on the mineral line, and my main will be fully saturated. And then I'll be like flooding drones nonstop. I'll just be already making drone. I'll only have like 2 lings on the map, and those lings are going to be scouting the front of his base, seeing exactly what's going on, and I'll have overlords skirting around as well. This way I can see if he's like going for a stalker really fast or going for something else. But yeah, around 3 minutes I'm at like 24 drones, I would say. Like 22 to 24 drones, which again is like 16 on the main and like 10 on the natural-ish.
Okay. And then okay, so you're getting gas pretty early then, and then you just keep saturating after that, right?
I'm getting gas kind of early, but the thing is I make double queen out of my I'll do a lot of to do this safely. What I do is I go hatchery, pool hatchery, so 17 hatch, 17 pool, like 18 hatchery, and I'll go double queen in my main and natural as soon as I can, and then I will go double queen in my main and natural again. But when my first 2 queens spawn, what I'll do a lot is I will send my first queen in my main.
Your third.
I'll send it to like the edge of my natural creep that is going towards my third, and then so I'll inject first, and then I'll go between my natural third with my queen from my main, which is now going to throw a creep steamer down, And then my queen that spawned at my natural, I will inject my natural and then run to the third to then inject the third when it finishes. And then I'm making 2 more queens to replace the queens I just injected with. So I'll have 4 queens right away. And then I like I said, I make 2 lings.
Yeah, so just like you're playing Terran then, essentially the same sort of thing.
Yeah, but then I make 2 lings to go scout with my overlords that are out there, but I'm only making drones beyond that. So even though I'm taking the gas when I'm not fully saturated on the natural, I don't actually usually go below like 10 on the saturation. I actually, the drones that are continuing to still be built over and over and over will actually be the ones that end up like filling up the gases or whatever. Like I'll never go below 10, but then I'm still making more and more drones. And around, like I said, like 3:30 is a good time to take your Roach Warren. That's like pushing it kind of far. You can take it even earlier if you were really paranoid, but 3:30 is about the limit to where you should take it to actually be safe against the adept pressure kind of builds. If you go any later than that, you're going to have time where he's going to be running on your base where you don't have roaches.
So I just watching a replay. The reason I bugged out was I was just tracking a replay, and this is exactly what happens at 3:30. Let me go back to that time around 3 something. He's already in my base with 2 adepts.
Yeah.
And he does a lot of damage.
Yeah, 2 adepts can be with slow wing and queen.
Yeah, well, I'm dealing with it, but I lose like 6 or 7 drones in the process, right?
This is the thing you should look for. If you scout your... Like, I'm assuming this guy's double gateway, right? He opened up double gate.
He opened, yeah, double gate. And I scouted with a drone, and all I saw originally when I went in was 1 gate before I left. I should have kept staying there.
Okay.
That was my problem.
So if you scout your Protoss opponent is going for a single gateway, you can honestly get by with 2 or 4 Zerglings, and you're totally fine. And those are mainly for just scouting purposes. Like, oh, is he taking your third? Is he being really greedy? Is he moving out? Whatever. But if your opponent goes double gateway, honestly, this is the one deviation I would do in my build. I would actually, instead of injecting with my first 2 queens, I would actually throw down double creep tumor. If you wanted to be extra safe about this, you could go creep tumor in the main and also creep tumor in the natural on both edges of creep to like make sure all 3 of your bases are connected, so your queens can be really mobile. And this also makes your slow lings more mobile as well, because a slow ling on creep can surround an adept. You can actually outrun an adept if it's not phasing away currently. So like if he phases into your natural, you can surround him before he leaves, and then your lings will actually kill him really fast if you surround him.
Do you, when he starts phasing, do you chase the phase or do you not? Like,
it's okay,
because
if I think I can kill it, no, I will not chase the phase. But if I think it's going to live and it's going to get away, I will probably chase the phase part of my army.
So yeah, so that's the problem. I really didn't have anything when he came in with those 2 adepts. All I had was 2 lings and 3 queens.
So yeah, like just simply put, if he goes single gate, 2 to 4 lings. If he goes double gateway, 10 to 12 lings. Make like 10 to 12, and then you'll have like a good 5 lings or so that can be on the adept itself, and then like chasing the other phase as well. And then after so those 10 to 12 lings can keep you safe from the double gate adept early adept opener until you have your Roach Warren done. And again, I would still recommend going for layer first, and then as soon as you have your layer started, you can actually spend a little bit of gas on roaches. If you want to just bypass the lings altogether, you totally can. There's some games where I don't even get Zergling speed at all. The main purpose of Zergling speed is if you think your opponent is going to play greedy, and he's going to take a third, and you want to get speed, and then you want to make maybe like 24 lings or something in the middle of the game when you already have like 12 roaches, but now you're going to make like 24 lings to go run around the map and maybe try to like poke the third or some shit like that. That's totally fine, but that's only for someone who's actually playing very macro oriented. If someone's actually going to be very aggressive with like a lot of adepts, you should not even bother with speed lings. They're a waste of larva for adept heavy styles.
Now, that's fantastic information. So now I think I've got that. I think that makes 100% sense. Another build I saw, and I've seen a couple times, where they do just a billion fucking zealots, and you don't see them. And let's see if it's oh, I was gonna do this alone here. I think this is one game here.
This is like a charge lot build?
Yeah. I know Bane's...
The Roach
you can
build,
deal with it with...
The Roach build that we were talking about a second ago, it deals with this perfectly, just like it deals with the depths.
So I tried to go Muta, but obviously it just came out too slow to deal with it, I think.
Yeah.
I don't remember, actually. This might be a different one.
I'll speed it up, just to see. But roach speed with creep, you can easily kite charge lots. It's like fighting.
Yeah, but
Like
he had
Berserker.
not just charge loss, he also had immortals.
Yeah, that's why all you gotta do is you kite the zealots away from the immortal. It'll really reduce the amount of times the immortals can shoot. Because if the zealots are charging you, they're gonna be outranging the immortal a lot while they do that. And all you have to do is thin out the immortal, or sorry, thin out the zealot wall. And once there's like a very thin number of zealot left, you can actually then overrun the immortal. It's actually
Yeah,
very
so
simple.
and I've seen what you're doing, and I know you attack and then you go behind the minerals and you kind of do that circle, and I do that as well, right?
Yeah,
So-
if they're already in your base, yeah.
Yeah, so here's the same bullshit again. Fucking, I have nothing to deal with this bullshit again. And
Yeah.
what are we? 4 minutes, and my Roach Warren is almost done,
Yeah.
and I'm a layer as well, and I skipped speed, length speed. Oh no, I did get speed. Huh.
So, like, 2 adepts, you don't have to have roaches to deal with the first 2. And if you don't have anything, I do recommend pulling drones and just getting rid of them as quickly as possible, rather than just letting them like run around your base while your queens kill them, because you'll lose way more drones that way. But
Yeah.
yeah, it just comes down to scouting early and seeing if he's double gateway or not, and if he is, just making like the early 10 links, and then you're.
So I saw the warp prison. I know it's coming,
Yeah.
and you know,
Here's
do you?
the-
I guess Protoss, do you break down this wall here too on this?
No, not necessarily. You don't have to. There's nothing Protoss can really do to abuse that. Because if they break it down, or you break
Well,
it down.
I like getting my expansion there.
Wait, you mean
is
your
it-
4th base?
Yeah, do
That's fine.
because
you break it
I
down
see you
then.
take one in front, but I don't know. Just curious on what your preference is for your 4th in the map.
I like for my like okay. So if I take a 4th against Protoss, generally speaking, I don't really care where it is, because a lot of times if I have map control, I will usually have map control at that phase of the game when I take my 4th base, and then I'm gonna be so that's why I don't really care where it is, because I'm gonna probably be keeping the Protoss pretty defensive, or I'm gonna be like relying more on creep than anything to like set up an engagement, because my creep spread also at that point should be pretty decently spread. I should have like at least probably half the map covered by the time I take a 4th base, or like some maps are
Okay.
huge, bigger than others.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
I've been not getting extra queens and focusing on drones because I
All-
thought the
Yeah.
queens weren't doing much against the depths. So
Yeah.
that's
All you need is 1 extra queen, and you have an extra queen right
Yeah.
now.
yeah. That's it. And I was just doing it for the creep. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, against Terran I go kind of queen heavy, but against Protoss all you need is 1 extra queen, so you
I
can have
think
like a few active tumors.
Okay.
But what I was gonna say actually, when you were talking about seeing the warp prism moving out like this, if you look at the Protoss and you scout, okay, he's going for a robo and he's actually going warp prism and he's gonna do some type of pressure, it's actually not a bad thing in this specific type of scenario to actually build 1 extra queen in every hatchery and then grab all 4 queens you would actually have at that point to then be warp prism killers.
Yep.
Because it helps a lot at dealing with people who do every type of warp prism pressure. You deal with the warp prism much faster that way. It's really, really fucking good.
I don't remember. I think I did deal with it pretty well because I knew it was coming. Or not. Or not.
It's so good.
So I only made 4 more roaches because I knew it wasn't anything crazy, and I'm going straight up into hive tech quickly as I can.
Hive tech?
Yeah, well, I put down a fester.
What do you want to go high for this game?
I was gonna try to get the broodlords.
Okay.
Game paused.
So I'm gonna pause it really fast, just
Uh-huh.
to talk about something. Because right now, if I were you, I would tell you if like I was watching you play this game live, I would be like, you need to go scout his 3rd, and you need to know if he's taking a 3rd or not. Because if I scouted my Protoss opponent was actually, even if the warp prism totally failed,
I think that's where those links are going right now.
okay. Because yeah, if he doesn't have a 3rd, I would honestly be like, whoa, like going hive that fast is a bit fucking crazy. Because if this guy 2 base all ends you, there is no way you're
You're
gonna have
dead.
broodlords in time before that happens.
Yeah. So where are those links going? Going to take a peek at some stuff, I think.
Alright.
How are they going?
But I do approve of the Broodlord like late game transition against most Protosses with the current meta. Broodlord is fucking
Okay.
amazing against Archon Immortal. It's
Yeah.
by far amazing.
So that's exactly. I think I was going muta right now. That's why I'm going to get the gases at the 4th, and it's too late. It's just too late. I'm
Yeah.
dead now.
Yeah, if you were to have scouted his third and saw that there was no third
Yeah.
throwdown at all, and you would have just made more roaches, you would have crushed this really, really, really easily.
So excuse the salt at the end of the game.
Okay, it's all good. It's all good, man. Everyone gets annoyed.
Yeah, so it's just a billion fucking.
Yeah, this is the kind
Z-lots.
yeah, it's just an all-in. This is the kind of build where you have to have enough roaches to deal with it as it comes, and if you don't, you'll never have enough because he'll overrun your hatchery production as it spawns. The metas were cute because you are going to take damage to your ground. You might lose hatcheries here and there, and you might lose some drones. But
I'm gonna lose everything because
yeah.
you just.
But your metas can't be attacked yet, which is you have time to kill his army that's currently there. But yeah, like this is going metas this fast against someone who's 2-base is very, very risky.
Yeah.
You just have to know if he's going for a third or not.
Yeah, so here it's just, I mean, I'm like, okay, well, let me see if I can go do some damage in his base because I'm done if I let him get stalkers. And it's too late, he already has a ton.
Yeah.
I do get some damage done, but it's nothing, you know?
Yeah.
Obviously not enough.
With what you were doing, I would have probably cleaned up the entire army because what you just did to yourself is you set yourself into an all-in. And
Yeah.
you already know he has stalker tech if he has already made a century or anything like that. And also that there's, even if you didn't have stalkers at the exact moment that you came across, a full energy mothership core, again, it
Will
could
stop me,
deny
yeah.
like 10 meta really well for like a full fucking 30 seconds. Mothership core is so fucking strong at dealing with little tiny pressure. But yeah,
It's too good. You can't do anything.
but yeah, I think the game was. This one is just the fact that you didn't see the third. If there was
Yeah.
or was not a third, and then
Yeah.
made a bad choice.
So do you ever go for OV speed right away?
I only get
Yeah.
over. I don't get it right away, like ever. The only time I ever get Overlord speed is if I'm going up against something that requires me to have mobile detection. Like if I'm going up against Burrow Movement Roaches, if I'm going up against Dark Templar, if I'm going up against Banshee, stuff like that, I'll get Overlord speed for. Otherwise, I don't even bother. Because I feel like you can scout very effectively with slow Overlords. The key to having good scouting, though, is having multiple Overlords, not just one. You always want to have 2 or possibly even 3 Overlords scouting your opponent all the time.
Now, the reason I'm scared to do that is a lot of games when I try to have overlords all over the place, what ends up happening is they just make one Phoenix and kills
That's
a
true.
bunch of overlords.
It's acceptable losses though, because if you have, let's say, just say 2, okay? Let's say you have one overlord on both sides of your opponent's base, and you're not
Yep.
only scouting like, oh, let's look at his natural. He got a natural. Now I'm maybe looking at his gases at his natural. Meanwhile, your other overlord is going into the main, and also maybe looking at the third, going, okay, he hasn't taken a third yet. I'm skirting around the main. I see a Robo or I see a Stargate, and let's say it is a Stargate, and you go, well, shit. Now I'm going to lose 2 overlords. Losing 200 minerals at that stage of the game when you already have 2 base saturation guaranteed, possibly even 3, it's not a big deal. If you lose your first overlord when you only have like 16 drones mining minerals and that's it, then yeah, that fucking sucks. But later on, losing an overlord becomes more and more minor. It becomes very like insignificant because you can easily replace it once your mining is like off the charts. When you're like mining with like a good healthy 50 drones or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Such garbage rage. I know you were trying to say race, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's salt. It was like I kept losing to bullshit Protoss all-ins, either to Adept bullshit or this bullshit.
Yeah.
And
Alright.
it's so hidden. It's one of the two. It's just like, you're like your zombie toss, just move and gone.
Yeah. I'm gonna try
Anyways.
and get
The-
a game here of my
Yeah, that would be great.
of mine, and then just like we can talk about it there too.
The only 2 things I hate in this game, right now, in the current status of this game, is Widow Mines. They're like, I think Terran don't utilize them as much as they should in late game. You just place a couple Widow Mines all over the map, and it completely shuts down any Ling run bys. Like 100% shuts it down because you're not watching when you tell it to go to the other side of the map, and then boom, it hits a Widow Mine and you lose all your freaking
Yeah, that can happen.
Zerglings.
It's really easy micro for the turn. Just burrow it and forget about it, and then just be like
Yeah.
getting returns.
All you need is like 5 in like across the map, and the places that Lings will run by all the paths.
Yeah.
so hard to deal with too.
Alright, toss me lead and this game, the description I wrote for it seems pretty good. Fuck, I can't watch this replay because it's out of date. Oh my god.
You know what? I saw that. I saw you save that, I think. Oh no, maybe that's a different one.
I played it about a month ago.
I probably watched it, but go ahead.
Right.
Like, I forget.
Do you want to do it off the stream then? I can just talk about it through the stream.
Yeah, do it to the stream. Just,
okay.
Yeah. It'll be a little delayed.
Yeah.
I'll listen to the stream then.
Okay.
Instead of,
So it's, yeah, it's all good. Just talk to me in here though if you have any questions on the immediate. Gotta get some more replays, guys. Get through these, because there's a new patch, and I have, like, no replays in the current patch, really. Alright, so this game, I'm going for what I think is 3 base really fast. I actually go really, really greedy. I go 3 hatch before pool. This is the extreme greed side of things. I think hatch, pool, hatch is safer, but it's still greedy. It's like a safer form of what I'm doing in this game, but if you want to be, if you're feeling fucking crazy, going hatch, 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 or going hatch, hatch, and then pool is what I meant to say. It's very greedy but very good if you know, if you don't get proxied or something. And I'm scouting double gateway. So the fact that I've seen double gateway now, when I went 3 hatch before pool, this is definitely the time when I should most likely be making like 10 to 12 lings. I'm making 14. That's fine. I still have no gas. I'm actually taking my first gas at okay, so this is something too. I know why I did this, and I'm gonna actually explain this. I only took 1 gas at 3 minutes instead of 2. And the reason why I did that is because I actually reduced, since I know he's on double gateway, I reduced my drone count by making this many lings rather than only making 2 to 4. So instead of taking double gas right away and really hurting my own economy even more, I just took a single gas. And I will probably take a second gas shortly after this, once I make a few more drones. But I'm not going double gas immediately because my drone count is lower than what it could have been because I had to make so many lings. And these lings are just kind of like running around trying to kill the adepts. We actually killed both of them right there, so now both adepts are cleaned up. We still have our lings, which means we don't have to replace them. And there you go. Now once I have a few more drones popping out, now we take our second gas. So it's not super crippling to my economy right away. And then I should be saturating it in a second here. There we go. And now I take my Roach Warren. I took my Roach Warren around 340, slightly late. Again, 330 is probably that sweet spot. That's exactly when you should take it. But 340 it's pretty close. And now I should be making Creep Timber right away. With this 4th queen. So, like, sometimes you can go Creep Timber right away with your first queen, if you know you're going up against a double gate. Just to have more mobile queens.
Can you show your drone count right now?
Drone count right now is 32. 32 probes to 32 drones. And we have in production no drones still yet. We're pretty low on money, but we're about to actually fall behind the Protoss once these next 2 probes pop out. But yeah, it's tied for right now.
By the way, all my commentary is going to be a little delayed because I'm watching your stream, not listening to the headset.
It's all good, man. But yeah, I still have the lings here. Sending these lings across the map would be a big mistake because they don't have speed. It would just be horrible. It would be stupid. And also, if he attacked me with the depths while I was out across the map, they're not going to do anything anyways, and then I would just take more damage than I should be taking. And now we see the adepts coming to my base. We already have a few roaches in production. So now these lings are going to help the roaches at trying to just zone them out from my drones, which is exactly what they're doing. 1 adept dies, and most of my lings have died now, but it's totally worth it because, and I'm not going to remake those lings because what that did was it zoned him out from my mineral line, so none of my drones died, and he lost a couple of his adepts. And now he's phasing around. We're just going to run away and just have, not all, but most of my roaches chase him. And if he phases out, we'll probably pull like 3 and set him up or something. Or have my rallies do it. I should I'll totally be going back. There we go, there's some of the roaches. This is always more annoying to deal with before you have roach speed, for sure. Once you have roach speed, it becomes a lot easier to deal with. just because you're more mobile. But yeah, there we go. We're starting to mine again. Now I should be making mass drones, and I don't need any more roaches. This is plenty. Around 9 or 10 roaches is totally fine at dealing with the depth pressure, and I'm pretty sure I've seen his third.
Can you show drone count again? We're at 1338. Sorry, 544.
It's like I'm gonna leave it on. I actually think drone counts are important. I should just leave it on. But right now we're down by 5. So so far already he's killed 14 drones, which that's actually something that could happen a lot. Like adepts are definitely units that are fucking ridiculous. Like unless you get Zergling speed right away, if your Protoss opponent is like competent, he will probably be killing quite a bit of drones with adepts if he knows how to use them. But the trade-off is, if you were to go for a Zergling speed really early, you might lose less drones on the list here, where it'd be like, you might have lost only like 4 instead of 14, but you won't get as many drones as quick either if you might have gassed that fast. So that's the trade-off. Like, you can either lose a little bit more drones, but you have more of them to lose, or you can have less drones overall, and you can lose less of them. Either way, it doesn't really matter. The only difference that's really big is if you actually do it this way, where you go more mineral heavy early and later gas, and you kind of skip Zergling speed, is the result is you get a faster layer and you get a faster roach speed, because you're not investing into other upgrades. And I actually think roach speed is by far the most important upgrade to have against early adepts. I like just for Protoss bullshit. And now we're still making more drones, just non-stop drone production. We should be catching up to his probe count really fast. And we should be taking, now that we know he has a third, once my saturation looks a little bit smoother here, like more mineral lines get more, close to full saturation, we should be taking a 4th base. And I'm actually starting a Spire right now. It's not guaranteed that we're going to be using the Spire right away. I don't really approve of rushing mutas. I don't think...
So...
What's up?
I'm at 619, so... I feel like if he alled into you right now, and instead of doing, instead of going for a third, do you think you'd be able to hold it because he did so much damage? Or I think by taking a third, he gave you the game back.
If he all in me, I think I would have been able to hold it, because if he wouldn't have as many probes as he does right now, because he wouldn't be continuing to make them for having like a third base. And if I would have not seen the third, because I did scout this, if I would have not seen the third base at all, I would have just gone back to making more roaches. Like, I would have gotten roach speed still. I'm always going to get roach speed. But I wouldn't have gone drone crazy after this. I would have droned just probably a little bit to maybe get 2 base saturation and then stop there. And then go really heavy into roaches. Because if he attacks me like right now with what he currently has, I would totally defend that. It's only 7 adepts and 3 sentries versus 9 roaches. 9 roaches could totally beat that. But yeah, if there was no third, I wouldn't have been so just so minimal defense. I would have made more roaches to deal with that. But he could. I will say this: he could have canceled this. Like, let's say he has like 8 gates in his main that I just didn't see for a while or some shit. And then he just builds a third and a pylon at the third. But then, as soon as I leave, he just cancel, and then just goes full on all in with just mass adepts or some shit. There is a chance I could die. I could totally die to that. So I think one mistake I have made this game is I didn't follow up to see if the third is actually done. I just scouted, oh look, he's taking a third. Which means that, generally speaking, what that usually means when he takes a third early like that is that he didn't invest money elsewhere. Because you can't keep making probes, you can't make a third, and you also can't make like 8 gateways in your main. You have to pick and choose what you can make because you have limited amounts of money. So when I saw the third, I just assumed he was going to go macro mode, and he did. But some people like to play super weird and go like, I'm going to trick you and cancel my shit and then attack you. It could happen, so you should always follow up scout. That is something that's very true. But yeah, so now I am transitioning into a... I will eventually transition into a mutiling composition.
Is there any tells that you generally will see? Because when I'm playing people in my league, like First Masters, what I typically see before they take their third like this is they have about 5 or 6 gateways, and then they take their third.
Okay, if they have that many gateways, that's you're going to be getting more aggression. You need more units to deal with that. That's all that means. That's a really late third. But for me, I have a changeling in his main as well, and I am scouting around his base. Even though I didn't follow up scout the third yet, I am scouting around his base, and I do not see more gateways. I do not. I don't see anything that tells me I'm about to be all in right now. So I'm gonna keep making drones. But if your opponent, if he had 5, let's say there was 4 more gateways right here, or he has 3 gates currently. But let's just say there was like 2 more gates. Okay, so
So what's the average you would say then
3.
for the amount of gateways they should have before they take their third?
3. It's a lot of Protoss is what they'll do is they will either open up 1 gateway or 2 gateways with their first Nexus, and then they will go up to 3 while taking a Twilight Council, and they will do a 3-gate Adept pressure and go from there, and then they will take a third. That's very standard. If they sometimes you can have a Protoss who goes 1 gate into a third, but I feel like the only way that works is if they do either a Stargate opener or if they go for Disruptor drops. If they don't do if they go pure gateway like Adepts, it's gonna always be 3 for a standard build, because you can easily pump out 3-gate production while taking a third without cutting probes. But if you go 5 gates, you cannot continue probe production, or you have to delay the third. Something has to be delayed to do 5-gate production. Alright, so he kills my Changeling. Also, creep spread is insanely huge. It's insanely important. So you obviously, it's always, no matter what, it's almost always important. But you just really need to be prioritizing against Protoss early game. Your creep, I think creep against Protoss is the most important thing in every matchup. It's pretty important in ZvT as well, but I think even in ZvP it's even more important, because the fight can get decided so fast in ZvP if you're not in the right position and if you're not in the right area, and having creep helps you really, like, you know, always be in the right spot, and you never get blindsided basically if you have decent creep spread, because now every angle he can attack me from, I will see him before he's like 3 or 4 seconds before he's actually at one of my hatcheries, or longer. Every second that goes by that this creep gets even further out, it's more time for me to have to react. But yeah, creep is insanely important. So you always need to make sure you're always like spreading your creep in every direction for that exact reason. It just helps a lot at dealing with potential all-in Protoss, or potential all-in players in general. And now I'm actually this is something that I've been doing for a little while. It's kind of interesting. Since this guy went for a third, this is something I don't do a lot anymore, but it's actually not bad. And you can take this or leave it. You can use it or not if you want to. But I'm going to explain what I did this game really fast. So I went for a really quick Spire Evo Chamber transition. I am not making mutas yet, because making mutas this early, if he just attacks me with a good warp-in of Stalkers, and then he keeps warping in Stalkers beyond that, I would probably die if I just started investing everything I had into mutas right now, because I have no backbone to my real army. As you can see, it's kind of tiny. But what I've been doing lately is, instead of getting Roach speed, instead of getting Roach speed, I only would get that if my opponent was going to go for like a 2-base Adept all-in. But instead, something else you can do is you can get like 9 or 10 Roaches without getting Roach speed. This is if your opponent takes a 3rd base. And then you can just leave your Roaches in like 9 or 10, never make any more beyond this, and just go mass Zergling. And if your opponent never attacks you for a while and he plays really, really passive, you just leave the Roaches as Roaches, and then you eventually make Muta, and then there you go. And a good time to make Muta is when you can make like 20 or more all at once. Because once you have like 20 or more, that's a really strong amount, and Mutas become stronger the more you have. Just because their damage stacks, and Protoss units are very durable. So being able to do something like one-shot a Stalker is very important. And around 20 is what it takes to do that. But anyways, if my opponent did attack me on 3-base, and let's say this is before I make my Muta, I could have a lot of Lings, because I've just been stockpiling Ling, and I could make all these Roaches into Ravagers. And I could go for if he doesn't have Archons, I could go for an engagement where I surround him, and then I just fucking Corrosive Bile all over his army. If he does have Archons, and I don't think I'm gonna win the fight, I could just go into base trade mode, and then make Mutas to continue base trade with Muta Ling Ravager. It's actually very fucking strong. This is a style I did for like 3 months in ZvP, and it still works in the current meta. I don't do it as much now, because I'm a little bit more obsessed with like Roach Hydra Lurker styles, and just Ling Muta transitions. But yeah, this style actually is pretty fucking strong. I'm gonna probably do it this. I don't know if this game I actually go for Ravager or not, but you'll see it either way. Again, just simply put, if you guys lost, if anyone got lost there, Ravager if he's aggressive, skip Ravager if he's not aggressive, and then just go Muta when you have over 2,000 gas. And then again, I'm just creep spreading. I'm taking the 4th. We're not really like going ham here. We're not going to attack him. We're just going to let him attack me on creep, because that is when I would take a better fight with Ling and Ravager. And we can see this guy actually went triple Stargate. Does he even know I have Spire? He does. So he's transitioned into triple Stargate Phoenix.
So you're expecting an attack is why you're making all this Muta, and you're just preparing for it.
I'm not making Muta
That's
yet.
why you're not, going up on your 3rd and getting it saturated.
I have 3 base saturated right now already. The drone count for me is 66, but I'm not saturating my 4th, and I'm not making Mutas yet, because if he attacks me right now, Mutas would be one of the worst units I can make. Because
Sorry, I meant Lings.
Yeah. Defensive Mutas in low amount and low numbers. Defensive Mutas are totally shitty. They're really bad. They're only good against.
And I meant your 4th.
Yeah, I know. They're only good against armies that can't hit air. But like Perdos can easily warp in a bunch of stalkers, so that's why I wouldn't make them. But yeah, I'm just stockpiling a bunch of Lings to do, like I was saying, I have a lot of options if I do this. I can base trade if I think I need to. If his composition looks like it's gonna shit all over Zerglings, I can base trade. If his composition looks like it's something that I can deal with, but he's gonna be really aggressive, like if it's Sentry, Adept, Immortal heavy, I could just make Lings wrap around him, and then I could make Ravagers, because this shit only takes like 9 seconds to morph in, so it's really like fast. I can do it whenever I want, and my creep spread is good enough at this point where I'm gonna see him coming from a little while away. So I can, I can make that call on the fly. I don't have to do it before it even. I don't have to do it preemptively before he moves out. I can do it while he's moving out and be totally fine. But yeah, so you understand that. I just was talking about that. But with how this game has kind of gone, how it's deviated, and he's gone into triple Stargate. What I'm actually going to do now is, instead of going into Mutas, which is what I wanted to go Mutas, but instead of going Mutas now, I'm gonna go Corruptor to open. Because this is a huge investment. This is not fucking cheap. That's huge. 3 Stargates for 3 bases is like almost all of his gas. Which means he's probably going to be going something heavier on like Adept Phoenix, or maybe Zealot Phoenix. He might have a couple of Mortals, or a couple of Archons here and there. But to keep these 3 Stargates pumping, he needs to spend a lot of gas on that. And if I make Corruptor, you can easily beat Phoenix with Corruptor. And then you can, once you have enough Corruptor to deal with that, you can make Phoenix, or Muta behind it. So this game is kind of turning into Muta Corruptor Ling. It doesn't always do this, but again, it's only because he's going heavy Phoenix. And I actually think Carapace upgrades for Zerg are better than attack. I should be getting Carapace now. I'm getting Carapace. The reason why is because the Phoenix has 2 attacks. And it doesn't have 1 attack, it just has 2, so armor gets double benefits against Phoenix. Income tab, I'm actually down by a little bit, but we're about to max out. So this is definitely I put myself in a position where I need to make something happen with an attack. And we're actually looking like we're going to kill his 4th base. And then we've also identified that we're kind of pulling his army a little bit out of position over here, so we can test the waters with Lings. And we actually got into his base with Lings. These Roaches are kind of a waste of supply now at this point. I definitely do not want to be making Ravagers against triple Stargate. I want to be getting rid of these Roaches at this point, but I want to do it in a cost-efficient way. There's no better way to do that than to drag your opponent out of position and then counterattack. Yeah, like they're all gonna die for sure. But meanwhile, now that we have his army, we've identified his armies in his main now, dealing with that shit, and we can come back and attack other bases with our air army. We actually just killed the 3rd and the 4th. We killed all the probes in the natural and all the probes in the main. So we just wrecked this guy pretty hard by just being mobile with our army. And now we're just going pure Vita lane. We have enough Corruptors to still I'm gonna back it up for just 1 second. We still have enough corruptors to deal with the Phoenix. But now, yeah, our composition is now turning into 100% Mutiling, and then we have a safety Greater Spire, just in case he were to like retain a bunch of Archons, and his army starts getting out of hand on the ground. We could just go into Broodlords to finish it. So I do think Broodlords they always have a place against ground-based Protoss. If the Protoss chooses to do that. But yeah, I don't know. This game, it's kind of situational. Not every Protoss is gonna go for triple Stargate. I'm gonna just explain something. Let's pretend he didn't go triple Stargate. What I would have done instead, let's say he was going for Archon, Immortal, Adept, that kind of a composition.
Maybe we can get a game. I think we're over.
What's up? You want to play a game?
What time did we start? I don't even know.
We can do one more, man. It's fine. I'm not really too worried.
I was gonna say maybe I can have a game with a Protoss. That's, I don't know if there's one in our chat in the channel, and then you can just see what's going on and then see what I did wrong or what I do right, or
yeah, that sounds good. We can do that. Yo,
I was gonna say
Masters Protoss.
let me ask my buddy if he's online. Hang on. Hey, you round. And then
yo, Mr. Llama.
we can just see what's going on and
Llama,
see what I did wrong or what I do right, or
yeah, that sounds good. Llama. Wow, who this nut?
Let me ask my buddy if he's online. Hang on.
Yeah, bro. This is Assassin's vibe. This is Assassin's vibe. I'm coaching right now. I'm going into the memory bank. What do they have in Assassin's Creed? I don't even know. I don't play the game enough. But Llama, I love you, man. Thank you for the house.
Vibe will be right back. It's just gonna take a leak.
Alright, sounds good. Take that leak. Alright, so we're gonna play one more game. This will be the last game of the 10-year-old. Llama totally distracted my train of thought there. One more game. This will be the last game of the coaching lesson. If you're a Masters level Protoss and you would like to play, get on Battle.net right now and join the Vibrator group chat. If you do not want to play, sit there and don't do anything. You don't have to do shit. But I'm going to watch him play one more game, and then I'll go back to my thing. My thing. Hey Vibe, can we start coaching tomorrow at 11 Central?
Alright, bro. Sorry. My buddy's in a game, so
Okay.
unless there's somebody else on stream.
I can get someone from stream, most likely. Howard, no. That's too late, man. 1 hour before that would be better. That's really late. If that works for you. Have a group chat. Alright, I gotta type in the chat. Hello? Anyone here? So if you guys don't know how to join it, this is what you gotta do. You go to groups, like this, group chat, you hit find, you type in vibe in the search.
Well, we want somebody that's probably Masters.
I know, I already said masters.
Okay.
And then double click on Vibe Traders and join that chat. Boom. That's how you do it. Is that 8 p.m. PST? That's 9 p.m. PST is 11 Central. Or you said 10 Central. Never mind, 10 Central is actually fine. My bad. Sorry, I fucked up the time zones. 10 Central is fine. We can do 10. 10 Central is 9 my time, which is actually fine. That's not a big deal. 9 Mountain Time it is. Tomorrow at 9 Mountain, 10 Central. We got this. Alright, no one's talked yet. I can always play it myself too, if we can't find anybody. And then we
Yeah,
can
you'll
talk
just
about it.
crush me with that crazy APM. You have one Zealot kill like 30 fucking lings. One Zealot, one probe.
Oh yeah. Alright, if no one comes in the next like...
Yeah, we can play if
Alright.
whatever. I mean, and
Fuck it, let's do it, man. I'll take you on. And then I will do the, like, more adept-based styles against you. And, this is what I'm gonna do to you. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do.
No, I don't want to know because I want to force myself to scout. Because if I scout, that's telling me I'm doing things right. First of all, to know how to prepare, to say, okay, I see the double gate, and it just proves I learned what you just taught me.
Okay.
So if I see the double gate, you know, I might need some.
I apologize. You're right. All right.
Anyways, that's how I feel.
No, it's good. I think it's good to always emphasize scouting. It's very important. All right, just host whatever map you want, and we can do this.
Here's my map pool, so I don't care. I have the only thing I have banned in my map pool is that stupid
Zazzn station.
Con map preferences. Yeah, distance station.
Yeah, I figured.
I don't really like Gettysburg that much, but Frost, Temple, Galactic, or Apophis, all those are.
Go for it. Any one
probably.
Of them.
Let's say Galactic. I think that's the most
all right.
sort of in between.
Let's do it. Galactic.
There's no gold really that kind of plays into the map mechanics of it. I mean, there is, but
I'm going gold first, and I'm gonna adapt the shit out of you with gold.
Actually, when I get cannoned, I actually always take.
Yeah.
So if somebody like tries to block and cannon and bullshit,
Yeah.
take that gold.
I just read what Mr. Llama said. Mr. Llama called me a 10-year-old because I put LOL in my name.
Oh, hang on. Let me make you the leader. My bad.
Oh, okay. I got you. Alright, we'll do Galactic process. Making the game. Alright, we just got someone else. Oh, whatever, fuck it. I'm sorry. It's the deal's been done. I want to play this now.
Who was it that just came? Was it my buddy?
It's Antimon.
Oh, okay. I think my buddy just too. But that's cool. Let's just do it.
Okay.
I am going to shut off the
I'm
stream.
I'm not going to be a tyrant here. Do you want to play your buddy and have me watch you?
No. He didn't even. Oh yeah, he is done. So, totally up to you. I'll invite him. He can spec at the very least.
All right. I tell you what. We're gonna leave it up to the fucking roulette gods. Okay.
Yeah. Let's do the channel vote. Do the channel vote if people want me to get crushed.
This is how I coach. I just do it by rolling the dice. All right. We can do a straw poll. How are we doing this last thing game? Play his friend, play 5. Okay, so I put some creative text in there, which is definitely not going to be swaying the vote at all. It's totally fair, non-bias. We'll see what people say. Oh damn, playing your friend is actually winning. I didn't expect that. Play with himself. Oh, that wasn't an option. I'm sorry. Alright, I'll just play your friend. I'll invite him. Or I'll make you leader so you can invite him.
Well, he's in the game already.
Is he? Oh, my bad.
Yeah, he's right down there.
Oh shit.
Just pull him up from spec.
Boom, there we go. Alright, I'm gonna be very, very hard on you this game. I'm gonna yell at you. I'm gonna fucking yell at you.
Well, I'm actually gonna not even listen because I'm gonna get I don't have your skills to be able to.
You don't have to listen to the stream. Oh, sorry. You just want to play a game and then I'll talk to you after. Is what you want to do.
Yeah, because if I listen,
no
I'll get so distracted and fucked up, and I don't have your mad streaming while playing ability.
Yeah, no, I understand. You can go ahead and play it. I understand.
All right.
Alright, I'm going. Good luck. Crush him. Whose vibe? Is that a pro? I was a pro. Once upon a time, I was a pro gamer. Back in my day, I used to win tournaments. That was a long time ago. Now I just fart in my chair. And I don't move much. And then I try to sell my fart chairs on eBay. And I laugh at my own jokes. Life has changed since then. Alright. Am I road tripping? I'm not going anywhere. I am not going anywhere. I am staying home. What is that pylon placement? That pylon... I guess he's making the pylon part of the wall. I don't know if I like that. I feel like whenever I see Protoss do that, it's so easy to abuse that. With either Ravagers or Banelings, depending on if you're all-inning somebody. Like, if you, it's very easy to die as Protoss if you wall with pylons. That's my opinion. Not a big fan of that. Alright, so he's going for 3 hatch before pool, it looks like. His third drone's way too late. He needs to send that third drone about a full 10 seconds before he did. You can see the money. And then he needs, honestly, to make a drone between the hatchery. He needs to make a drone between every building. Like, he needs to make this building, make a drone, make this building, make a drone, and then make the pool. Or even 2 drones, and then make the pool. He needs to drone between these buildings, because if you don't do that, you're larva cap, and then he's actually, right now, he's down probably 1 drone than where he could have been. It's not major, it's not like, oh my god, he's going to lose the game now. But he did set himself behind by insufficiently spending his larva. Make sure the rallies are not still in the main. He needs to re-rally the main, so it doesn't keep rallying, oversaturating the main. He'll probably fix it in a minute. He keeps fixing the middle line, but he'll probably fix the hatchery in a minute. Double queen. Right now, what he needs to do is he needs to just go, since he went pool, or his, it doesn't matter. He just needs to go, just queen every hatchery. It's fine. And then queen the third, and then he needs to, honestly, just make a ling right now. He needs to make 1 ling. The second you make the queens, you should be making a ling, and you should be scouting more of the map. Like, go take those Onaga towers, or, you know, have a ling ready to go. Like, it's good to, it's honestly, I would say it's always good to have 4 lings for 1 gate, 10 or 12 for 2 gates. That way, if you had 4 lings right now, the 4 lings should never chase the adept, but the queen can zone out the adept right now. But watch what the adept does. He's going to run into the drone line. 4 links could be right here, pushing him away, or then chasing the adept shade. And luckily for him, the adept didn't want to really attack at all. The adept was really, really passive. This adept could have totally killed 1 or 2 drones right now, though, if the adept was a bit more aggressive. Or it could have forced like a spore crawler or something. He's got gases going, which is good. He needs to build the roach horn right now. He needs to not forget about the roach horn. If he doesn't build the roach horn right now, and this guy gets aggressive with 3 gate pressure, he's going to take damage. His roach horn is super late. And he can't hear me, by the way, right now. Everyone who's watching in the stream. I am coaching somebody right now. His name is Zazzn. Zazzn in chat, but his ID is MasterLaw in game. And this is the last game we're coaching. His roach horn is about 38 seconds late. That's really late. You can see the warpin's going to be done, and there's going to be 7 adepts right now walking across the map, and there's his roach horn. He needs to have roaches actually being built like right now, so that when these adepts, if they move out, they don't fuck him over. This Protoss player is being really passive though. He's being a little too passive in my opinion. Now he's moving out, but he moved out, honestly, a bit late, I think. And now there's actually going to be roaches that are there. I feel like MasterLaw is really lucky that the Protoss didn't move out earlier. Otherwise, he would have taken some damage. Alright, so the Adepts are in the main. He needs to leave these units at the National? Sure. Also, he needs... Okay, good. He's scouting the third. He's... I would say he needs just a few more units. That sucks. That's never fun when that happens. You're always kind of just like, fuck me! I don't know. I don't have to really hardcore coach him right now because he's not actually listening. I'll do it when the game's over. But definitely needed, like, one of the big things that I do a lot against Protoss is the second I get layer, if my Protoss opponent is going for a Twilight Council based build, I'll actually just get an Overseer early, before I even know he's going DTs. That way I can kill something like potential observers and also DTs. Because a lot of Pronossus who get Twilight Council like to get a Robo for a Warp Prism, and also sometimes like to do this shit, because they like to go into Archons. Archon Immortal is very strong as a follow-up to Adept, so it's really common, which is why getting an Overseer is really just like a nice thing to have, really. Right now, I think that I don't know if the double Evo is really necessary right now. I would honestly... okay, no, it is. He's actually going for Hydras, so it is. Never mind. I was going to say, if he's going for a Spire, this is not necessary. It's only necessary to get a melee upgrade if he's going Spire, because he's going to transition quickly. But since he's going for Lurker, the Hydra Lurker it looks like, getting double upgrade is fine. I do not want to see him actually go into a hive really fast. I do not think this infestation bit is good. I think he should actually stay more on Roach Lurker for longer. This is too early. If he goes hive right now and throws down a Spire, I think it's way too fast. Because if he goes hive right now and throws down a Spire, this building right here is kind of irrelevant. This Hydra Den. He's... I don't know. I think the infestation pit's just kind of... it's too early. Like, he should still make it eventually, but this is just too early. He's not fully saturated yet. When you're not fully saturated, he has some good saturation going over here. It's actually not as bad as I thought. But I still think it's too early. Like, it's regardless. He's not using it yet. The big thing about this game that decides it is it's the same problem we had last time in the replays we watched. His overall opener puts him behind, and he just doesn't have enough. I want to play his friend, and I want to give him a replay of me doing it. Because I feel like me telling someone is only going to go so far. I want to give him an example. Yo, yo, yo.
Alrighty.
Alright. Really quick. I have one question for you. Do you mind if we talk about this while I play your friend?
Yeah, by
Okay.
all means.
Alright. Nice. Because I want to give you an example and not just only tell you stuff. But...
I was late on my what do you call it? Because I started my lair but didn't start my roach warren.
Yeah.
But I expect DT. Fuck, I always forgot he always does DT.
Yeah. So one thing that's really nice against Protoss, I don't. You can just. I'll make you leader so you can invite your friend.
Yeah, 1 sec.
But one thing that's really nice about going against Protoss is always make a. Also, if whenever you want to start, I'm ready. By the way, and you can keep talking to me while I'm playing. I don't mind. But always make an overseer. Just generally speaking, if you know your opponent's going for a Twilight Council build, always just make an overseer as soon as also with like roach speed. Just if you want to be really safe about it when you hit layer, because DTs and warp prisms and observers, all that shit, they're all very common follow-ups. And if he has a warp prism and he has like a dark shrine, he could easily fuck you over with that really hard. If you do not have an overseer.
See, and again, I didn't deal with the adept pressure well at all. He just did a lot of damage or losing a lot of mining time and bullshit.
I want to give you like just a visual. I feel like if the Roach Warren again was a little late, and if you would have actually attacked sooner than he did, you would have taken even more damage because he had like 5 adepts that were kind of just chilling at his natural, and then he waited until he whipped in like 6 and 7. And then also until his glaive upgrade, the attack speed was a little bit further done. But if you would have attacked a little sooner and like maybe just poked your base with shades to see if you had anything there, he could have gone even sooner. So you just gotta really hammer it down with like the Roach Warren timing because it is very important. You're open to taking a lot of damage if you don't. What's up?
Should I start?
Yeah, go for it. I'm good. I'll just keep talking to you while I play. I don't really mind.
Yeah.
And feel free to ask me plenty of questions. I don't really give a shit. You can ask me as many as you want. But basically, simply put, if you want me to generalize last game, you had a little bit of holes in your build in terms of timing. You had some openings to take damage, and overall, you took too much damage to where his follow-up timing killed you. You didn't have enough to deal with it.
It was the fucking DT. That's why I feel like I took the most damage.
Exactly. Yeah, there was just a little bit of holes in your defense.
That was really nice. That depth pressure and then DT's hammering on my my natural.
Yeah, right. And to beat an army like that, what he had, you could honestly beat it with even just pure roach.
Yeah.
Even though I wouldn't always recommend always go pure roach, that kind of thing. But just, you could make seriously almost anything against someone who goes blink, stalker, follow-up. As long as you have enough, you'll win. Also, the other thing too, the opener you had, watch how I do it. This is the big thing I think you made a mistake on. You sent your drone a little bit too late, and you didn't make drones between buildings, and your larva capped, when you threw down the 3rd hatchery to then when you threw down the pool, I think your larva capped for like a good, 10 seconds or 15 seconds or something. It was a while. And that's it, stuff like that sets you so far behind early game. It definitely has an impact. So like this.
I thought I made an overlord, but I think I didn't have, so I didn't make. But I thought I made it.
Yeah.
36 and like.
But yeah, I don't know.
That was the first game of the day anyway, so.
Yeah, I totally
cold
understand.
and rusty.
I totally understand, dude. I play, some games I'll be like, what the hell am I doing? But yeah, I'll let you just kind of like absorb whatever you want now. Just ask me questions if you have any. Otherwise, I'll just play this game for you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna watch for now.
All right, man.
Yeah, I mean. Thought, after I made my lair, I'm like, shit, I forgot my fucking roach warren.
Yeah.
Any changes in building placement and things like that?
Not really. There was nothing I saw in terms of placement that made me think like we need to fix it. I'll also, when I take my 4th base, I'll do the same thing you like to do, where I'll break the rocks.
Okay, so you're making lings right now.
Yep, I'm making 4 because he has 1 gate.
Okay. So you always make that 4, and you just leave him in your base. You don't
Yep.
scout around or anything.
I will scout around when he leaves, but I would if I didn't get to see anything here, I would be like wondering what the fuck is going on. But since I already know he has a wall, scouting his base is not too important now. But instead, what's more important is saving my drones from taking damage from
Gotcha.
the adept. This way, I won't lose like any drones. My queen can send him
Gotcha.
out.
So it's
off
like
grid.
keeping the lings back for the
As a
what
shade.
do you call it? For the Reaper against Terran.
Yeah, pretty much. And now if he faces in, which he didn't, I would have had lings on him. Now I see he's chrono boosting the Twilight Council, which tells me, alright, this dude's probably going to be, you know, doing some adept pressure, most likely. And I'm still just droning my ass off really hard. And now I did say I take more gas when my natural is fully saturated, which now it is. So I'm going to layer, and we're going to take more gas in my main. And I'm still
Alright,
droning.
so when you get the layer, you take all the gases.
Only 2 more. I don't take the third.
Yeah. So that's the point where I was a little lost. Is okay after I get the 2. What am I transitioning after? What's my end game after Roach? Is basically
Yeah.
where I kind of get messed up with. And I was gonna go Lurker, but took so much damage. So how do you determine how many roaches you're gonna make?
I should be scouting his third right now to figure that out. And then scouting through his base. But right now I'm stopping at about 8. And I'm making an Overseer, and I'm making, there's a third, so I don't think this is a super all-in. And instead what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually just fully saturate my third. I'll go Hydras like you did last game, since it's like the style you were going for.
It's not my style, it's your style. I'm just copying
it's
you.
All good, man. No, it's yours now to own it, claim it.
Executing it horribly, but still doing it.
Alright, so now I am fully saturated. I'm gonna make a few more roaches.
Swarm forces under attack.
I'll make a few more drones because I know some are gonna die right now.
Your control is so good about controlling in between the bases. This is what I have big problems with.
Do you use camera hotkeys?
Swarm forces under attack.
Sorry?
Do you use camera hotkeys?
I use my camera hotkeys, yes, for bases, but not for units. I just 1-1, 1-1, you know, 2-2.
Okay. If you use camera hotkeys for bases, it makes it really easy to toggle between bases defensively.
Evolution.
It takes a while to get used
Yeah.
to, but if you do it, it actually is worth it.
I've been transitioning out of the old way from Wings of Liberty, of using 5.5, 6.6, 7.7 for queen injects, and
Yeah.
I'm now on hotkeys, but I still, you know, for certain things, it's force of habit. I don't use hotkeys to look at my base and say, okay, send my units here. You know what I mean?
Cluster
And I get really flustered. So this is where I end up getting in trouble, is I get flustered.
Okay. Right now, I made a second group of roaches now with an overseer, and this group of roaches is going to defend my base from Dark Templar, my only base that does not have static defense, and it's going to be there until I have static defense. I'm making some at my new base.
So I've been wanting to try to do, I've been wanting to try to do what you do with, which is use 5 for my hatchery, but it's really, really hard because I'm so used to using 4.
Okay.
Because I see that you put all your your spawning pool, your whatever, your evos and your Hydra Den all on 4, so that you can toggle between to do the upgrades without looking at your base.
Yeah.
Certainly, one big thing I think that's really helpful. When did you put that spine there? Oh, because he has
When it
DTs.
DTs, yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to this space over here.
Queen birth successful.
Okay, now, because he's not being hyper aggressive and he's actually being a little bit passive, this is the only reason why I'm actually going for a Spire and a Hive. If he was
So
being
normally,
really... Go ahead.
I would normally Nidus in this situation where I would get a Nidus ready, so when he moved out, I Nidused him and a whole bunch of lurkers.
That's kind of cute. That's not bad. I don't think you have to. I don't think you should force attacks though. If he moves out, okay. You said if he moves out. Sorry, I thought you were saying straight up if he is sitting.
Yeah,
there.
like when I see him starting to move, and because Protoss are the ones that always are aggressive.
Yeah.
They're not like the passive Terran.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Because like he's leaving your overlords alone in his base. Like you're sitting there, just you always have that vision.
Yeah. And like right here.
Yes, I mean, they always do that because if they don't go the starport, they're too cheap. And I don't even think that a lot of the Protoss players are all that good. I feel like a lot of them are actually really they just can win because of the units are just so much stronger. And you can't attack into them as Zerg.
Yeah.
So it's a base trade, it looks like.
Yeah, because he's moving out. If he wants to base trade me, what we're going to do is we're just going to run some of our drones around. We'll split up my units so he can't just like build cannons or some shit everywhere. Or whatever he wants to do. I'm going to get rid of his mineral lines like right away.
Swarm forces under attack. Hive cluster under direct assault.
So how did you get back to your units down there that were attacking really quickly? Are you just minimap clicking?
No. I have base camera hotkeys for my main, and then I have hotkeys for my units like 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. But base camera hotkeys for my main is QER.
Yeah, no, I got that. That's my F1 to F6 or whatever. But you went down to your Hydras there really quickly. Like,
is that great? That if I'm like,
yeah,
I will use base, or I mean, I will use the minimap sometimes to click the map. Yeah, I don't even think about it, but I do it. If I have like 1-1 will be like the general group 1, but I still have like 4 groups of units because I've spread them out. But they're all still group 1. Yeah, it'll be me clicking the minimap a lot like that. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to contain him up the ramp with my lurker. And if he pushes into it, he'll lose everything.
oh wow, he just lost everything.
Because it's a choke point. I can just be like, alright, fine, you can take my main, and now I'm going to contain you in my main, because there's no way you can come out of my base unless you have Blink. And if he has Blink, I can overpower all the stalkers by themselves, without everything else there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't, like, the big thing, the game turned into a base trade, that's not always going to happen, but if it does, it's fine. But the big thing is just about getting the economy going right away. And then it doesn't matter what you transition to at all. It just matters how much of the shit you have in the mid game when the Protoss does want to do a timing. Because if you don't have enough, you're going to die. Like, the Protoss units will just run you over at that point. But if you have enough because your macro early game was good, it was it was strong enough, you'll always defend it. It's very few situations where you'll... Go ahead,
so
sorry, I'm talking.
Watching that game, your critique would be essentially I was late. Number one, I supply block, but I know that. I was late on my Rotorn. Your defense, see, whenever you defend that pressure, you always seem to have your shit just in time. And like splitting it and getting them, like he's always running off. But I think I saw what you did. You just ignored it. You told them to attack move over there, and then you grabbed your a couple other roaches and sent them back.
Exactly. Like if I have 8 roaches and he has 5 adepts, I will tell all 8 roaches to attack his adepts. And then as soon as he shades somewhere, I will peel off probably half of my roaches, and I won't even look at my roaches that are fighting adepts anymore. I don't give a shit. I will just chase the adepts. I will watch where the adepts go and make sure I don't get into a situation where I start losing drones or something. I will just stare at the adepts and maybe I'm macroing in the meantime while I'm chasing him, like maybe making more units or whatever. But I am going to stare at the adepts with my camera, and I will watch where they go, and if they cancel, I will just reissue a command for my roaches to go back down to help the other ones in the fight that's currently happening. But roaches can beat an adept. Roaches beat adepts very easily, 1v1. And even if it's like if he's not reinforcing his army, if it's only just like a 7 adept pressure, and then he's gonna macro something else behind that, every adept that takes damage and dies or whatever is just more of a win-win for me. So I don't give a shit if I even lose 4 roaches if he loses 4. If he has 7 adepts and I have 4 roaches, and he's fighting me 7 versus 4, and let's say I kill like 3 adepts, but he kills 4 roaches, so I take a worse trade there. I don't care at all. That's actually still a better trade in my opinion, because I was so greedy before that I can still easily deal with the remainder of his adepts at this point and not take any drone damage. The big thing is you don't want to take drone damage. So you're totally willing to sacrifice a couple of roaches here and there if you have to, but just don't let adepts get into and expose the mineral line, and then be like, ah, shit, now I have to run every drone. Now I'm not mining at all. Because even if you lose like 1 second of mining time, that's one times every second of mining time you're losing is you have to multiply that by 12, and you're losing that many minerals per second because you have 12 drones that are now no longer mining the minerals, etc., etc. Yo, by the way, dude, thank you for the tip, the 40. I appreciate that, man.
Bro.
But yeah, it's you just, the big thing is you don't want to lose drones and you don't want to lose mining time. So if you have to sacrifice a couple roaches here and there, totally worth it. That's pretty much it, man. As long as you can maintain
well,
that.
Nah, that's good. I mean, that was fantastic.
You have any other questions?
Dang, what's my buddy saying? No, not really. I mean, I just gotta go practice it, right? That's all there is to it. I don't think there's like, it's not like there's a massive thing. Obviously, it's just there's some serious holes that I was just left scratching my head after zombie toss, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? It's just not working.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wish you good luck. Go fucking kick some Protoss ass, bro.
Yep, and I'll continue watching the stream and a couple games, and
All right,
thanks
man.
again.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, dude.
Take care.
You
Bye.
too.
Take care, Dan.